Hello, welcome to part 2 of The Worst Band in the Universe by Graeme Bass. So now we're going to join Sprock as he has left the planet and he's now on a new planet called the planet Squog. Squog, the arrival halls at Planet Squog International Spaceport. The moment Sprock arrived on Squog, he felt a sudden chill. As if a silent hand had caused the airwaves to stand still. No melody, no harmony, no tune or chord or song. A total lack of music. There was clearly something wrong. He powered up his split twanger, the output set to low, and strummed an ancient melody that everyone would know. But instantly a squad of prodmen scuttled into sight and headed straight for Sprock, who stood in bafflement and fright. A stranger who had been watching Sprock from far across the hall moved quickly to his side and pulled him back against the wall. She hit the entry panel on a vacant MTB, that's a matter transfer booth, like a transporter from Star Trek, if you know what I'm talking about. It seems you have a problem, friend. You better come with me. The stranger pressed a button and the booth began to glow. The fast approaching prodman seemed suddenly to go slow. Sprock felt his body hovering. His head was filled with light. Then in a blinding flash, the spaceport disappeared from sight. So there's Sprock with his new friend, and of course there's all those prod men coming up after him. An alleyway, 1 nanosecond later. Sprock reappeared in Sector 8, the low-life end of town. The stranger let him stabilize, then looked him up and down. You must be new around these parts or fruzzled in the head. Performing with no license? Groove, right now you should be dead. A license? Sprock was overwhelmed. But why? Whatever for? To keep us quiet. Rules are rules. There's several thousand more. Restrictions on recording, total bans on playing live. All Ragoid beats prohibited. No rock, no funk, no jive. No music? Sprock stood dismally, head hanging in the rain. His dreams of sonic freedom washing slowly down the drain. Cheer up! The stranger took his arm. It's not as bad as that. There's music here, all right. Come on, I'll show you where it's at. She led him down dark alleys flanked by walls of plastic rock, until they reached an unmarked door. The stranger gave a knock. A secret code was verified. A password softly said. Then down into the underworld, young Sprock was duly led. So now I end up in a place called the Mesh Pit, which is an illegal music venue down in Sector 9. The Mesh Pit. I love that. A flood of music met his ears, so rich, so warm and deep, the likes of which he'd never heard beyond the realms of sleep. He felt himself enveloped in its magical embrace. A smile that spoke of utter joy upon his upturned face. The stranger led him through the hubbub toward a corner seat, where sat a massive crustopod she wanted him to meet. This lump is known as Stickman. Stickman grinned a toothless grin. And I, my friend, am Breather. Welcome to the world within. So that's the alleyway they ended up in after they transferred out. So now we've got Sprock, we've got our little drummer there, dude. Of course, we've got our Breather up there. So what was his name again? It was, Stickman. That makes sense. He's got sticks in his hand. That night, Sprock played his music as he's never had before. A sea of sound that rose and fell upon a rhythmic shore. Nice meshing, Sprock Groove, Stickman called. You've really got it down. This joint ain't heard a mesh like this since Scatman came to town. You've heard of Scat? Is he on Squog? I can't believe it's true. I heard about him back on Blip. He's just like me and you. But Breather shrugged. I saw him once, a year or more ago. I heard that he had traveled on, but no one seems to know. Just then they felt a shudder, followed by a muffled roar. A mass of rocks and rubble flew across the cavern floor. A gaping hole, a searing light, the sound of stomping feet. And with a roar, a dozen prod men burst in from the street. "Come on, y'all breather. Time to split. This gig is getting rough. These grooves look like they want to play, but I've had quite enough." Sprock tried his best to follow, but the rubble made him trip. And all at once, he felt himself held in a vice-like grip. The musical inquisitor sneered cruelly at his prey. "My dear young Sprock, we meet again. This really makes my day. Still making up your little tunes? Tut-tut, you cause me pain. This time I'll have to see that you never play again. Bring out the bulk eraser. We've an innovator here who thinks he has some talent. Let us make it disappear." A sudden twist, a rallying kick, he fainted toward the right, and Sprock was racing up the street and off into the night. So, there's the Inquisitor again. So imagine, they're having to play music in a place hiding out because they're not allowed to play music anywhere because it's illegal unless they have a license. But imagine not being able to create, not being able to make up something new. You have these ideas in your head, but you can't write them down, you can't play them, you can't draw them, because it's against the law. That's kind of scary, and actually that's happened before in history. So if you search things, you'll find where people have been actually imprisoned because of their beliefs as far as what they wanted to create or write or draw or play. So Spock found the others waiting for him further up the lane. "These raids are getting worse," said Breather. "Snout Face strikes again. I wish we could get out of here. Those prodmen are such creeps. But off-world tickets don't come cheap. Looks like we're here for keeps." An auto droid came skittering along the alleyway, a roll of posters bouncing in its general purpose tray. It quickly slapped a poster up, glanced back along the street, and darted off again upon its spindly metal feet. "The worst band in the universe. Does your band make the grade? First prize, a trip to Alpha 10. All expenses paid. All life forms free to enter. See below for where and when. You've got to play to get away. It's party time again." "The worst band?" chortled Sprock. "Hey guys, this gig sounds pretty weird." But Breather told him here on Squawk the title was revered. "A name to wear with pride, my friend, a truly worthy goal. Who'd want to be the best band in this grobulescent hole?" Sprock read the bit again about the trip to Alpha 10. A chance like that was just too good. It might not come again. He turned back to the others. "Well, we've nothing much to lose. We better start rehearsing if we're going to win that cruise." Got the sign over here. Worst band in the universe competition. Industrial Sector 84, 6 weeks later. The venue was a warehouse down in Sector 84. The glowing competition host was waiting at the door. "Step right this way, my groovelets. Let the tournament begin." Sprock thought he saw the slightest wink. "It may the worst band win." Inside, they found a mass of musos meshing all at once. A quadrulous cacophony of clicks and snorts and grunts. A band of blogloids, heaps of bleeps, a nest of hydrobugs. Some Pangazordian pongo bums, a squealing of slugs. A family of frugal snags, Centaurans by the score, a pair of long-eared Slatermen, a giant omnivore. Such fabulous diversity, to name them all would spoil it. And those were just the life forms who were waiting for the toilet. Our heroes struggled through the crowd to soundstage 42 and kicked off with a trucking song that everybody knew. The host declared them winners of their class in Section 1. They moved on to the second round. The contest had begun. So here we go. Big picture of the contest there. For 7 days and 7 nights, the competition raged. The most bizarre display of innovation ever staged. At last, the hall fell silent. Every band had done its worst. They waited now with bated breath to find out who'd come first. The host stepped to the microphone, a wild look in his eyes. "The judge has reached a verdict. Let's see who's won the prize." He held aloft an envelope and ripped it clear in two. "The winner is..." He paused and looked around. "Why, Sprock, it's you!" "The worst band in the universe?" They staggered back in shock. "We won the competition! We're out of here!" yelled Sprock. They whooped and yelled like crazy things. They leapt in sheer delight. "No time for that," the host declared. "You gotta catch your flight." He led them quickly from the stage straight to the waiting ship. "It's set to automatic. Just sit back, enjoy the trip. If I were you, I'd get some rest. You've quite a ride in store. Be seeing you around, I guess." He grinned and slammed the door. There's the judge, main guy. Like, there's the power slide. All right. Deep space, a few light hours later. The band was watching Trevi, which is three-dimensional TV, Trevi, on the main transmission screen. A sitcom starring some new band from Alpha 17. When suddenly the host appeared, that glowing golden smile. "This program has been terminated. Do not touch your dial." He flashed a set of perfect teeth. The smile became a laugh, and then a dreadful cackling howl that split his face in half. The golden mask turned inside out, revealing in its stead the musical inquisitor. "Surprise, surprise," he said. He looked at Sprock. "Now there's a face I've seen somewhere before. You thought you'd had me beaten? Well, let's even up the score. Prepare ye for oblivion, you innovative scum. Your feeble tunes are all played out, and now my time has come. I have a dream, a brave new world where every note is fixed. All tunes shall be performed in C, the ancient songs remixed. A realm of sonic purity, the purging of creation, and absolutely, positively zero innovation. Of course, these new arrangements need some changes at the top. The eldest one has had her day. She's ready for the chop." "You leave her be," yelled Sprock, but the Inquisitor was gone, his laughter slowly fading as the spaceship hurtled on. A minute later, sirens blared, the seatbelt sign flashed red. "All crew prepare for hyperjump," the autopilot said. And then a void, a sense of loss, the future flashing by. The ship leapt 90 light years in the blinking of an eye. They reappeared in orbit round a planet small and green. "A jungle world," the readout told them. Waste dump B-19. A warning buzzer sounded. "Waste pod 7 cleared to go." A jolt, and they were falling to the unknown world below. And that is part 2. Thank you. Click in the links below to get the other parts.